What's up guys, it's Mega giving you yet another Untitled Link Evolution. Today guys, we're going to be doing a Water Dragon deck, but I haven't actually summoned out Water Dragon per se in the replays. The reason why guys is because in order to summon out Water Dragon you need specific like monsters either in the field or in the graveyard, and you need them in your hand, and you need a magic or trap card. So it's really tricky to actually get him out. However, all of the requirements to summon him out are also dinosaur monsters, so I decided to merge them with True King Dinos, because dinosaurs themselves just search out other dinos, it actually makes it easier, and then the True Kings just give your dinos more plays, so it's like a True King Dino Water Dragon deck, per se. I do use the obviously the materials like such as Oxygeddon, Hydrogeddon a lot, and I do actually use Water Dragon, but as a destroy it to summon out the Water True King or stuff like that. That's what I mainly use it for, if I'm being brutally honest. And if you enjoy this deck, guys, hit that thumbs up and make sure subscribing, because everyone does help out the channel. And without any further ado, guys, if you're struggling to make this deck or any deck I've ever shown, check out the card hub. Whether the card is in this game or not, I'll tell you where to find, such as a campaign jewel, challenge mode jewel, or any of the card packs, that is in the description down below. And with that guys, let's check out the video. Guys, it's 2 copies of Baby Ceresaurus. I know I'm not using Ash Blossom, that's because dinos don't really need them, because you just punch through, you have very powerful effects, and you actually break a lot of boards with this. So Baby Ceresaurus guys, if it is destroyed by a card effect, you get to special summon a level 4 or lower dinosaur monster from your deck. Really great, and also it's an earth, so it's absolutely great with Lafusigen. I'm also using 1 copy of Pankutops. It is limited to 1. The reason why I'm using this guy is because when Petite Pteranodon, which is like another version of Baby Ceresaurus, gets destroyed, you get special on Pankutops out for free, which is actually a very incredible monster. He's also like a Cyber Dragon and a Interrupt. So what I mean by Cyber Dragon is if your opponent controls more monsters than you, special summon this card from hand for free, kind of like Cyber Dragon. And also he has an effect where you could tribute one Dino Wrestler basically himself, and you get to destroy 1 card your opponent controls. And that is a quick effect as well. So Pankutops in this way is like a unicorn on steroids, because you can just special summon it, interrupt your opponent's plays. Have a nice day guys. On to some ones to summon out the Water Dragon. We're only in 3 copies of that. Is it Duration? I can't pronounce this. This is the only one I can't pronounce. So with this guy you can discard him in order to add a bonding spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is actually key to bringing out the Water Dragon, which is very nice. And also if he is normal or special summoned, you can special summon another version of him, or Hydrogeddon or Oxygeddon in your graveyard. So you could simply just tribute him, summon out another one, his effect just brings back the other. Kind of great really, and he's actually not bad guys. He is a water, so he is great for the Water True King. 2 copies of Hydrogeddon. Now in a lot of builds people run like 3 Hydrogeddons and 3 Oxygeddons. That is kind of great, but I kind of limited them down to 2 because they're not as decent as the other cards, and also I didn't want to make this deck like a 50 card deck or whatever. So when Hydrogeddon guys destroys an opponent's monster by battle, get to summon another Hydrogeddon from your deck. That effect isn't once per turn, so if you want to run free, you can run free if you want. And also Hydrogeddon, because you special summon it during the battle phase, that second one can make an attack. Really great. And also again, it's a water, great for the True King. And also if you do special summon another Hydrogeddon, that's 2 level 4s guys, great to go into Lagia or the other Evosaur we'll get into in a bit. Running 3 copies of Miscellaneousaurus. This is like our hand trap, because during other player's main phase you can just send them to the graveyard, and all dinosaur monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's effects. Basically gives all of our guys immunity, absolute great. And also he has an effect where you can banish itself and any other amount of dinosaurs, and you get to special summon a dinosaur whose level equals the amount of monsters you banish. So for instance, if you banish him and another dino in your grave, you can bring out like a Baby Ceresaurus or a Petite Pteranodon. Also the monster during the end phase is destroyed. So a little tip guys, you could simply just send our Duration and onto the graveyard to use its effect to draw a card. You can use the Miscellaneousaurus effect to basically make your monsters immune. Then you could just discard them. Then you could just banish the Miscellaneousaurus, bring out a Petite Pteranodon, equals a Pankutops if you really want, stuff like that. It's really easy, guys. That's what this deck thrives. I am using that one copy of Overtech Quietless because we don't have the new support for the Dinos, so we are stuck to running this bad boy. I've never really summoned him because his effect is if you have five banished dinosaurs, return them into the deck, special summon this bad boy. Not a bad effect, but it really comes up. He also has an effect where effect on field, which I'll just say, where you can destroy a dinosaur monster to basically negate a spell or trap your opponent controls. But the main reason I play this bad boy is because if it's sent to the graveyard by card effect, like as in your Oviraptor, or like I don't know, by Dragonic Diagram, you can add an evolution pill from your deck to your hand, which is kind of great to bring out some high-powered monsters for free. Onto 2 copy of Oxygenons is basically a vanilla monster because its effect is pretty much useless. It's basically an 1800 vanilla level 4 mon, still with 1800 attack really. We are running 2 copies of Petite Pteranodon. This bad boy enough has the same effect as Baby Ceratosaurus, but Baby can only special summon a level 4 or lower monster, while Petite Pteranodon summons a level 4 or higher dinosaur monster. So it's great going out into Panktops or any one of our level 4s. That one copy of Soul Eating Oviraptor, it is limited to 1, otherwise I'd easily have 3 of this card in this deck no matter what. When this guy is null or special summoned, you get to add a dinosaur monster now added to your hand or sent to the graveyard. So you could add one of your cards you need for your Water Dragon. You could add the Miscellaneous Saurus if you want some protection. You could send the Quietless to the graveyard so you can search out a double evolution pill. The world's your oyster, guys, of Soul Eating Oviraptor. Also, he does have a niche field effect where you can target a level 4 or lower dinosaur you control and destroy it, and then special summon a dinosaur from your graveyard. So if you've already used that Panktops, you could pop like a Baby or Petite Pteranodon and then resurrect your Panktops. And then because you've destroyed those 2 by a card effect, you get another monster off from them. Just something you might want to keep in mind. On to some True Kings, guys. I can't really pronounce all their names, so I'm just going to call out the Fire True King, the Water True Kings. I really cannot pronounce any of their names. So all the True Kings have effects where you have to destroy one card with the same attribute as them, or 2 cards with the same attribute, or 2 monsters with the same attribute as them, in order to special summon them. And also they all have effects where if you use 2 monsters with the same attribute, summon them, you get a little bit of a bonus, and if they are destroyed, an effect will happen. So for instance, you need to destroy at least 1 fire monster to bring out the Fire True King. If you use 2 fire monsters to bring him out, you can banish 1 monster from your opponent's field or graveyard, which is actually pretty sweet. Also, if this card is destroyed by card effect, you get to add a non-fire Wyvern monster from your grave and add it to your hand. So, not very bad. We've got 2 copies of the Water True King. So if you destroyed 2 water monsters to bring him out, which is actually pretty easy, you can banish 2 spell or traps on the field or graveyard, which is pretty sweet because you can just get around your opponent's back row. And it doesn't target as well, it just banishes, so it gets around a lot of things. And if this bad boy is destroyed by a card effect, you get special summon a non-Wyvern water monster from your from your deck. So it brings out the Fire True King or the Earth True King. And speaking of it, we are running 1 copy of the Earth True King, so it is limited to 1. If you destroy 2 Earth monsters to bring him out, you can look at your opponent's extra deck and banish 3 monsters from it. So that's very key because you can see what your opponent's doing. You can like pick certain cards that they need for a strategy, such as for instance if you snipe a Halki Fiberax, they can't obviously use that to go into their combos. The list goes on and on. And if this bad boy is destroyed by a card effect, you get to special summon a non-Earth Wyvern from your grave, so the Water or the Fire True King. I'm only running 1 copy of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno simply because I just haven't got space to run 2, guys. It has an effect where you can banish 2 dinosaur monsters in your grave to special summon it if you haven't got the evolution pill, so you can still bring him out. During either player's turn, it has an effect where you can destroy 1 monster in your hand or field, and change all monsters your opponent have into face down position. Bear in mind, any monsters in face down position can't be used for link, synchro, exceeds material, so it shuts down a lot of plays. I want to note, guys, also this bad boy can attack every monster your opponent controls, and also if it attacks a monster in defense, you inflict 1,000 points damage for each. So Really great, guys. On to some water dragons. We are running 2 water, 1 cluster because that's what you need. So cluster's ability, upon being summoned, you get to negate all effect monsters opponent controls and make their attack point 0, which is actually pretty sweet. Also, it has a quick effect where you contribute it special up to 2 water dragons from your hand or deck in defense mode. And obviously this monster is kind of like another vanilla because the attack of fire monsters and pyros becomes 0, which is really not going to happen a lot. And which is great because if you do use the cluster to bring out the 2 water dragons, you can go into a rank 8 Xyz just like that. All of them do have to be special summoned by the effect of a H2O card or a bonding card, so we'll get into that in a second. So speaking of which, bonding D2O, this is the one I'm running, not the bonding H2O. So D2O guys can bring out both water dragon or water dragon cluster, but you need 1 Oxygeddon and 2 Durations on the field or in your hand. So that's why, again, this is why I mean it's tricky. So this card can bring out your water dragon from your hand or deck, which is not bad, but you need the Oxygeddon and the Dread and 2 Durations in your hand. So that is where it kind of falls apart with the bonding cards. We're in 2 Cosmic Cyclone. The reason I added this in, guys, is because I didn't originally run this. I had for like 3 even in match of 3 infinite opponents, but I went up against 2 Mystic Mind players in a row. I was like, no, I need more back grow removal, so I went with Cosmic Cyclone. I took 1 of each out and put in Cosmic Cyclone. It's basically an MST, but instead of destroying a card, it banishes it straight out. Really great. We are running 1 double evolution pill, searchable with Quatless, and it's basically you banish 1 dinosaur and 1 non-dinosaur from your hand or grave, and special summon a level 7 or higher dinosaur, ignoring its summoning conditions, which is actually pretty sweet. And also the water dragon monsters are classed as sea serpents, and your true kings are also classed as wyverns, so double evolution pill has a lot of targets for it. Running that 1 copy of Diagram, we are searching this with Terraforming. It is basically all your true kings will gain 300 extra attack, pretty nice. And also you can destroy 1 card you control or in your hand and add a true king from your deck to your hand. So with this, guys, straight off the bat you could destroy a Babysaurus or Petite Pteranodon, search off that and get out your true king. Then you could just go off with your true king plays. Really great card. 2 copies of Fossil Dig is limited to, as I'll add more. It's basically the searcher for the deck that you get to add a level 6 or lower dinosaur from your deck to your hand, which is near enough all of them. I am running 2 copies of Pot of Extravagance simply because I need draw power. Normally dinos don't care for their extra deck, which is actually pretty same for this, so that's why we're doubling up on a lot of monsters in our extra deck. And so we decided to go with Extravagance. You have to use it at the start of your main phase 1, but you get to banish 3 or 6 random face downs and then get to draw 1 card for every 3. So if you banish 6 monsters from your extra deck, you draw 2 cards. Not bad. We are running that Terraforming just to search out the diagram to get into our hand very easier. We are running 1 copy of Bonding DHO. You need 1 of each. You need 1 Hydrogeddon, 1 Oxygeddon, and 1 Duration. I'm still going to call it that. They need to be in your hand or graveyard, and then you get special on a water dragon cluster from your hand or grave. This is what I mean. You have to have a water dragon cluster in your hand or graveyard. So for instance, this trap doesn't even bring out a water dragon. So if you draw the water dragon and the cluster, you still can't bring it out. That's why they are really horrible to get out the water dragons, but it's not that bad. You can banish this card from your grave in order to force yourself to add a water dragon cluster from your hand or deck, but then you still can't play because obviously this trap will be in the graveyard then. We're all running 2 copies of Evenly Match because dinos love to go second. Evenly Match is just a great to go in second card. At the start of the at the end of the battle phase, you can force your opponent to banish cards until they have the same amount of as you. And also, Evenly Match can be played from your hand if you control no monsters. So, no cards. Sorry. So, for instance, your opponent, I don't know, has a board. You just simply skip your main phase 1, go to your battle phase, play this, your opponent banishes all but 1 of their board, and then you just do your board in main phase 2. Very easy, guys, a very powerful trap card. Then finally, 2 copies of Infinite Impertinence. It's like an Effect Veiler on steroids because Effect Veiler can be caught by the Graved. Infinite Impertinence can't because it's a trap, not a monster. And also, Effect Veiler can be activated during the main phase. This can activate whenever it wants. And also, if this card is set and you activated it, any spell or trap that activates in the same column is also negated. So pretty sweet trap. Onto the extra deck, guys. Again, I'm running a lot of like 2s and 3s off of a lot of monsters simply because of Pod of Extravagance. Didn't really want to get rid of it. Want to keep monsters in case you have them in place. So I'm running 2 copies of Dingirsu simply because I want some rank 8 options to go into if I do actually bring out the Water Dragon cluster. Dingirsu is just a great Xyz for any level 8 8s to go in. For every level 8s to go in to really, and he's basically, upon being summoned, you get to send 1 card your opponent has on the field to the graveyard. Really great. And also, if any card will be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can just detach an Xyz material from it instead. So it's an all around bad boy. I'm running 2 copies of Dolka. Dolka is like a it's like a Solemn Strike, but for dinosaurs. So you need 2 level 4 dinos to go into this. Really easy to go into. During another player's turn, when they activate a monster effect, to teach you use 1 Xyz material, negate and destroy the monster. Really great, absolutely fantastic. And then Lagia is the spell and trap card version of Dolka. So Lagia, you use 2 overlay units. When your opponent would normal or special on a monster or play a spell or trap, you use 2 overlay units, negate the spell and destroy it. Really great. I am using that Numeron Dragon, Hope Harbinger and Dragubon combo as well. Simply because Dragubon can again, if you do summon out your level 8 War Dragons, you can go into Dragubon. Dragubon has the effect where you can take 2 number Dragon monsters in your extra deck, you special summon 1, the other goes to it as an overlay material. So with just this, so with just Dragubon, you can go into a Hope Harbinger and equip Numeron Dragon to it, or summon out Numeron Dragon and equip Hope Harbinger to it. Really great. With Numeron Dragon, you can basically detach 1 Xyz material. It gains 1000 attack for each rank on the field, including itself. So with just this and Dragubon, it gains 9000 attack points, which is pretty great. Can seal out games. And as for Hope Harbinger, if you want to bring him out, is basically a negate for spells. Because when the spell card is activated, you can negate it and equip it to Hope Harbinger as an overlay material. Really great. Great, that's the main reason you run it. I am running 3 True King of All Calamities because again, I am running Extravagance and I particularly do want to go into True King of All Calamities. So this gives us the best chance of seeing it even if you use Extravagance. So it's kind of like a skill drain on steroids because you can use as a quick effect, tax 1 Xyz material, declare an attribute. All monsters on the field become that attribute, and all monsters your opponent has with that attribute can't attack or activate its effects. Really powerful effect, absolute great. And also, if you want to summon out a True King monster, you can destroy your opponent controls instead of your own. So, for instance, if you want to summon out 2 fire monsters, declare fire, use Calamity's effect, declare fire, just destroy 2 of your opponent's cards, summon out this bad boy, and because you use 2 fire monsters, your True King's effects will activate as well. We are using IP Masquerena, Nightmare Phoenix, and Nightmare Unicorn. They are one-offs because again I can't fit in everything I want in my extra deck, so they do kind of go with Extravagance, but they're not bad to go into. Masquerena is just absolute easy to go into Nightmare Unicorn during your opponent's turn if you didn't get rid of it with Extravagance. Because you can link summon during your opponent's turn with Masquerena, and with Nightmare Phoenix, great for popping a back row because you just discard 1 card, pop opponent's spell or trap. And as for Nightmare Unicorn, you discard 1 card, take 1 card on your opponent has in the field, return it to the deck. Again, if you want to do that during your opponent's turn with Masquerena, really great. And that's it for the deck, guys. We have got some interesting replays coming up. Again, in the replays, I don't actually summon out the actual Water Dragon, but I do use its Oxygenon, Hydro Gallons a lot, and I do hope that's good enough. Again, it's kind of like with the other deck I made with the Legendary Knights. you can play them. You just need to hope to God you draw the correct cards. If you don't draw the correct cards, heck, at least you've got a deck that can function without them in case you don't. So it's not all bad. So I do hope you enjoyed this deck, guys. Again, hit that thumbs up in case you like this deck, or maybe consider subscribing. And I shall see you guys in another video. So wherever you are in the world, take care, have a fun day or night. Goodbye.